Okay, I just wanted to give you a couple of ideas about drawing a scene. Many of you are already past this, but for some of you, maybe this will provide some thoughts. So what I've got right here is just the program as it was given in the prove checkpoint. And so if I say Python scene.py, we get the one pine tree there, which was part of the original. So one of the things that you're supposed to do in the assignment is that you're supposed to create multiple objects. So if I want to draw another pine tree, obviously I can copy this line and draw another pine tree, and I can change the values here so that it draws at a different location and height, and we can draw it, and ta-da, now there's another tree. That's really exciting. But if you remember in the assignment, you're supposed to use a loop. You're not supposed to just repeat calls, okay? So this would not meet the intent of the assignment. And so if you wanted to create a loop, what would you loop over? Well, all right, one way to do that is instead of just hardwiring these variables, how about if we made a list of tree parameters? Okay. And so I'm going to make a list of embedded lists. And so it's going to be the, let's see, so I'm just going to put the 500, 100, and 150 here. And this will duplicate this. So now I'm going to change the call, and it's going to be, well, okay, first I need to do my loop for the parameters, right? So I need to say for parameters in tree parameters, and so each one of these is a set of parameters. So now I'm going to say draw pine tree, and it's going to be scene left plus 500, and this is going to be scene top, not plus 500, it's plus parameters sub 1, and this should have been parameters sub 0, and this should be then parameters sub 2. And I'm going to get rid of these three, and my editor is unhappy at me because this line is too long. Well, sometimes we just have to live with things like that. So what this is going to do is it's going to look at each list of parameters here and create a tree based on those parameters. So if I've done this correctly, this should look like the original, right? There's a tree right there. Now I can just add another set of parameters here, and I can say 400, 140, 180. And now it will draw two trees because I've got a second set of parameters here. Okay, and if I want to draw another tree, I just have to add another set of parameters. We'll make this one smaller. And so you can see one of the advantages of programming with loops is it's now very simple to loop over this structure and then call the routine to draw the tree. Adding a tree is as simple as adding another parameter to this list. But what if you wanted to do something that, let's say I want to draw my grass blades, okay? So for underscore in range, we'll start off with just 10, draw grass blade. And we're going to put in canvas, because this is like draw pine tree, so I need scene left, scene top, oh, I need scene left, scene right, scene top, scene bottom. And that gives me the limits of the drawing area. And it says there is no function named draw grass blade. Well, that's okay, because I'm going to create a function to do that. Alright, so now we'll say def draw grass blade. And it takes the parameters canvas, left, right, top, bottom. And so I guess what did I just do? I deleted a line, which I didn't mean to. Okay. So right now nothing's changed because calling that function doesn't do anything. So now I'm going to draw one grass blade. Except if I just draw a grass blade, so this would be canvas dot create rectangle left plus 100 top plus 20 left plus 110 top plus 140 outline equals light green, fill equals dark green. Once again my editor's upset because my line is too long. But that's not going to be very interesting, is it? Because, well, for the first place it looks like I messed something up. It says I've got, what is wrong? Oh, there it is. What is it saying? Invalid syntax. If I got a character there, I must have had a character there that was obscured by the squiggly red. Alright, let's try that. There we go. So my blade of grass is not too exciting, and all of them draw in the same place. So now is when we bring in import random. Okay, and right now I've got a squiggly because I haven't used random. But we're going to say draw grass blade, and for purposes of simplicity I'm going to define some variables here. Okay, so we're going to say grass top equals bottom minus top times 0.4. And so my goal here is to limit the grass to the bottom 60% of the screen. Yeah, we'll limit to the bottom 60% of the screen. And so now I'm going to say grass left equals, and okay, I'm overcomplicating things here. Bottom minus tops, blah blah blah. Because in fact, left is 0 and top is 0. Well, but they might not be. So what we do is we do right minus left plus random dot randint. That's wrong, sorry. You know, this always seems so clear in my mind when I'm doing it. And then when I start working on it, I make all these little mistakes and have to back up. So I want to be offset from the left-hand side of the screen by some amount, which is going to be limited between, actually, because random takes a minimum and a maximum, I can just give it left and right. And then I can say grass top equals random dot randint grass top bottom, and now I can say grass left, grass top, grass left plus grass width, which I didn't define, did I? So we better say grass width equals 5. We'll make each blade 5 pixels wide. And obviously I'm going to need a grass height, and we'll make it 20 pixels tall. And this is grass height. And that's not top, that's grass top. And maybe we'll break this line up like this. So we've got upper left, upper right. Let's see, upper left. Oh, I'm sorry. Upper left, right side, bottom. X, Y, X, Y. Okay. And so I've got 2 points here and then the 2 colors. And if I did this right and didn't cause any mistakes, now when I run it, I'll get an error. Now that's not what I wanted. This is something I should have remembered. Randint takes integers, and I didn't make sure that this value was an integer. So I have to turn it into an integer in order for this to work correctly. There we go. And so now I've got 10 grass blades scattered about. And now I can do more grass blades by just changing that number there. And there's a problem. My grass is growing on top of my trees, which it shouldn't do, should it? So let's draw the grass first, and then draw the trees, and that way the trees will be on top of the grass. Ah, there we go. And so now I've got some grass growing here. And notice, because it's random, even though, you know, like you see this line of grass blades here, that won't be there the next time I run it, because random changes from one time to the next. And so you can see it's now different. And randomness works as long as you constrain it appropriately. If I'd drawn a sky, for example, I wouldn't want the grass growing up in the sky. I said it was supposed to be limited to the bottom 40%. It's the bottom 60%. Why did that happen? That should be draw grass blade. Oh, okay, yeah, I've got that fraction backwards. But since my trees are in that same area, we'll let the grass grow there. So that's an idea about how you can use randomness so that I don't have to position each of these exactly. And also I can constrain it by setting boundaries on my random int. I can use a set of parameters to loop over the set and draw multiple things. And in both cases I'm meeting the requirement to loop to draw grass blades instead of calling one draw grass function that has a bunch of grass blades in it. Okay? Hopefully that gives you some ideas.